Alright guys, in today's video, we are going to go through the emotional side of a job search. Now, this is something that is coming up more and more for very obvious reasons for folks who in today's market are trying to find a job. Not only that, like, most people aren't even thinking about the important things, aligns with my values, right? Is a good fit for me, my family, it allows me to achieve my goals. Most people are just in such a survival mode where they can't even wrap their head around thinking about anything other than, is this going to pay my bills? Is this going to, like, am I going to be able to provide for my family? And that's a really scary place to be. And so in today's video, what I wanted to walk through are really one of the best tools that I've come across for dealing with this, as well as a perspective shift that completely changed my life and allowed me to land some of those $300,000 plus roles that I've spoken about in the past. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Katie. I'm a coach at Career Sprout. On average, it takes us about 63 days. Actually, this year, it's a little bit longer. It takes us about 74 days to help somebody navigate the job search process. In 2023, the average salary bump has been over $74,000 for our clients though, so that's been pretty exciting. Now, a big piece of the job search process, there is tactical steps. Yes, we give all of those away for free. I'll put links or something below for free tactical steps, the strategy, the tactical steps that you have to take. The other side of it, the side that ruins most people, is really the mental, emotional side of that. And so one of the best things that you can do as an executive, as an entry-level person, as a senior manager, wherever you fall on the ladder, is realize that whatever you're feeling, it does not make you less than. I have not met a single C-suite executive, oh, actually that's not true, I've met one who is probably a psychopath, but outside of that one person, I've never met somebody who does not feel imposter syndrome. I've never met somebody who does not worry. I've never met somebody who's just completely at peace 24/7. I've met people who are close to that, but no matter what level you are going to have doubts. And one of the greatest things that you can do is recognize that that is okay. And feeling those things is actually irrelevant to your level of success. And so what I mean by that is, you know, they did a study, and I forget who conducted this, but they studied the greatest of all time, like the people who were top in the world at whatever they were. This was business people, this was sales people, this was professional athletes, this was artists, this was whatever the case may be. And the only three things they found in common were not how they, like, it was not, oh, I woke up at 4 a.m. every day, I worked out every day, I ate, you know, vegan every day for the last 20 years. Like, nothing like that was true across the greatest of, you know, industry. What was true was three common traits. Number one was that they had this belief that they could do something. They had this idea, they had this spark where it's like, hey, I think I can do this. Now, the second thing they had in common was this really intense insecurity that they wouldn't be good enough to be able to do that thing. So think about this, the best in industry. They thought they could do it. Then the flip side of that was they had that dark voice in their head saying, I don't know that you actually can. And then the third thing they had in common was they had the discipline to act despite those feelings. They had a plan, and then they just had the discipline every single day to follow that plan. Now, how this relates to your job search is oftentimes people come to us, and it's insane. Like, typically it's the most talented people who have the biggest insecurities is what I found. And the reason why they are so talented, or they seem so talented, is not because they were naturally gifted with this thing. It's because they were so scared that they weren't going to be good enough that they just worked harder than everybody else. So for anybody out there who's nervous, who's afraid, whatever the case may be, that can be a superpower for you. Now, the tool, as I mentioned, the one tool that works really well for helping folks with this, it's something that I call a mindset pack. It is something that I've adapted from several of my mentors. The main place that it came from is the book Psycho-Cybernetics, if anybody's read that or if anybody wants a good read. And it's essentially what you get to do as a human being is reprogram your mind to focus on what you want to focus on. And the big piece of that is making sure that you have clearly articulated to yourself what your identity is, how you want to, you know, behave or act in certain situations, the characteristics that you want to exemplify. So if you are somebody that you want to be courageous, you want to be patient, you want to be strong, you want to be loving, well, then you need to build that identity. And when circumstances arise for you to be courageous, aka when you feel fear, it does not, like, you are not a courageous person because you don't feel fear. You are a courageous person because you feel fear and you act anyways. You are not a patient person because you have a situation where you feel impatient. You are a patient person if you have those feelings of impatience and you are patient anyways, right? You are not, if you want to be a loving person, right? You are not a loving person, or it does not discredit your love if you on the inside don't necessarily feel loving in the moment. What matters is you feel those feelings and you overcome them in the moment. Now, the best way to do this, one, is to clearly define, who it is you want to be. But then number two, the best tool is to have images and little words where you are thinking about every single day, every morning when you first wake up, every night when you first go to bed. Have a set of pictures of things that you have accomplished in your lifetime. These are going to be things like, whatever you're proud of when you think back, your first job, your first apartment, right? Your first, your marriage, your first kid, your first, massive project that you came in under the, right at the last hour, you were able to figure it out. Whatever it is, things that you have accomplished that you are extremely proud of, you want to have those in front of you every single day, at least twice a day, to remind your brain of what you have been able to overcome. And what happens when you do that, when you're combining with, hey, here's who I want to be, these are all the values, here are the behaviors, here are the characteristics, this is who I want to be, and then you are backing that up with proof that, hey, here are examples of when I have done that in the past. What it happens is it allows you to, in the moment, during your job search, during an interview, right, if you were just laid off, it allows you to stay rooted, and it reminds your brain of all of the things that you have successfully accomplished, the things that you are really proud of, the things that when you think of them, you can't help but smile, right? Those are the things you want to be reminding yourself of, because almost every single time, those great things came out of a crisis situation or a tough situation. They were right on the other side of that. And so if you can tell your brain, hey, right now this feels uncomfortable, but we've been here before. Look at all these other times that we've been in a situation like this. We got out of it. We were okay. Just by doing that, your brain is going to get out of survival mode where we're in a first world country, it feels like life or death, because our brain is still 10,000 years old, where any threat, for the most part, 10,000 years ago, any threat really was life or death. Our nervous system is still set up that way to perceive threats as, hey, I need to send this really intense warning signal to you because it's very possible that we're going to die if you don't hear it. That's what's going on in your body. So if you're able to acknowledge that and then say, okay, I understand that this is a warning signal. It's actually not life or death. We've been here before and we came out on the other side even better. If you're able, or even if it wasn't even better, even if it was just okay, what's happening as you remind your brain of that, you can calm your entire nervous system down. Now, physiologically, you need to do some things as well, where you can do a couple rounds of box breathing. I talk about that quite a bit. Very simple. You just breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold it at the top for 4 seconds, and then blow out through your mouth for 4 seconds, hold it at the bottom for 4 seconds. Do a couple rounds of that. Remind yourself that you've been here before. And if that fails, the last ditched hack that we have is just sitting up, good posture, look straight ahead, move your eyes all the way over to the left, all the way over to the right. Do it about 30 to 60 seconds. It is essentially like a system reset. So for anybody going through the emotional, havoc of a job search, or feeling worthless, feeling like you peaked, feeling like, what am I gonna do? It's gonna be okay, right? We just need to calm the system down so that you can then go take action on the most important things. If you're not sure what action to take, again, I will put free strategy tactics below here, but you gotta get that mental side right for any of that to work. So I hope that helps somebody today. I hope you guys are having a good one. Talk soon.